good?
Come on.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
It's Brothers Great Millstone New Orleans. We're going at you another live camp. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors to
Dash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us truth, rule well, and peace, blessings, and salutation be to those who elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel, man, and may even endure to the end, Lord willing. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and we're gonna start off this camp. All right, just pretty much getting into some current events. All right, and basically prophecy, man. All right, start me off for a second, Edris. I'm 15-1. All right, because at the end of the day, as prophets come out and prophesy, all right, to warn you, all right, of the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right, different prophecies that's going to unfold. All right, in the Bible. Okay, but you got it.
Yep.
You can read it.
Second Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord.
Right. It says, "Speak thou in the ears of what? Of who?
Speak thou in the ears of my people.
Of my people." All right. My is a possessive word. All right. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. You are the chosen people of the Lord, which his true name is Yahweh. All right. Who the word ignorantly calls God. And his son's true name is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All right. We come week in, week out to speak into your ears prophecy, man. Things that must come shortly to pass here in America, all right, which is known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, all right, or the daughter of Babylon. All right. Now we're going to get into some things that's happening here in the current events, all right, to the daughter of Babylon, all right, and how prophecy is constantly unfolding before our eyes. You have more? That was it.
That was it.
Gosh, I was finished one, right? That's it. Now, let's start off with this article, all right? Because you have these nations, and hold on, think about Revelation 17, all right? Because you have these nations that are starting to line up, all right? This prophecy in Revelation, the 17th chapter, man, all right? They're starting to dislike the whore, all right? Starting to like the leader, disliking the leader of this whore, all right, which is DJT, you know? So these other nations are gearing up, all right, getting their own selves in a mind state, the mind, all right, to prepare themselves for war, okay? And you already had discrepancies and different things happening when Trump first got in office with NATO, saying, oh, well, they just take all our money, they use our military. So what happens when they start to pull the military from NATO, man? All right? Friction. You had Spain when they first launched the offensive, all right, with Israel on Iran. Spain wouldn't deny them their own airspace. How an ally comes to use your airspace and you tell them no. Well, what kind of ally is that? You see? And Spain is a NATO country, right? Well, now we're seeing Turkey, in which this brother about to get the information, pretty much lining up to do the same thing. You have military movement, right, from the Israelis, all right, over there, surrounded with the areas of Syria, man. You know, but these things are a part of prophecy, right? Because Turkey is a NATO nation. When you read Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, it speaks of Gomer, right? And who's Gomer? So-called Turkey, man. And they're going to be in alliance with who? Russia, okay? Iran. You see the so-called Persians, all right? Those are the modern-day Iranians, man. When you talk about Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Tubal, that's speaking of Russia. You see? So Turkey is a key point and pivotal point to show you that prophecy is turning into real life, man. All right? But go ahead, bro.
This article is from the media line written yesterday. It said Israel and Turkey trade warning after strikes on Syria airbase.
Mm-hmm.
Israel and Turkey exchange warning Thursday following Israeli airstrike on Syria Abdul Dabar Air Base in Jerusalem, saying it acted to prevent a Turkish military deployment. And Ankara rejected the explanation as tension rise over influence in post-Assad Syria. 8 Israeli strikes hit a base in Abdullah province early Tuesday, damaging its runway without causing casualties, according to Syrian authorities.
Right. Now, they're saying that they didn't cause casualties, right? But you have Turkey, on the other hand, saying, hey, man, there was nothing going on over there. Basically, it was just an empty base. But the so-called Israelis say they had intelligence, in which they always got some kind of intelligence, right? some with DJ TP saying false news, man. You know, there's always some that they have to do to provoke them. All right, to press a button to shoot a missile, man. You see? Keep going, bro.
Syrian officials said Turkish delegation had inspected rehabilitation work at the facility hours before the attack. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu office said Syria was on the verge of breaching an agreed status quo in security matters
Hmm.
by preparing to station Turkish forces at the base.
Right. So he was saying, "Oh no, they're trying to get ready to put forces there, right?" And which is all, like I said, it's called a theater of war. All right, it's all uh, smoke and mirrors with different things that they do. Right. We don't know who's saying what. Right. But we understand that there's always been tension between Turkey and who the so-called JOOs, man. Right. Keep going.
Israel viewed the possible enlistment of Turkish military infrastructure in Syria as a security threat.
Hmm.
Turkey
So
called
they view it as a security threat, right? In which it's all like I say, whenever the fake the JOOs are involved, it's always something that you have to question, man, right? Because we know that they're the workers of what's the word? Workers of iniquity, man. Whenever they do something, it's not something that's done up. It's not a valid reason behind what they're doing. They've been saying Iran can't have a nuclear weapon for goddamn 60 years, man. You know? Oh, but now they possess the power to have one. Let's take them to war. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing with what to do.
Yeah.
Saying they made fun of them, they had all these different commercials, making fun of their military might, their power, their men, right? But then when they actually developed the nuclear capability, well, what do you hear now about it? Nothing, because there's nothing to be said, because they actually will push the button.
Yeah. Yeah, they just did military exercises with shit ranging to reach Japan, man. You know? And you had the US, they just pulled basically their whole goddamn military out of South Korea, you know, and pulling more troops. You see? Because they're getting ready to go up, man. In that gap to get that in Joel the second chapter, you know, the valley of Yahweh's judgment, right? But they had more in that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey called Israel account untenable and said no Turkish troop had been stationed at Abu al-Dahar.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl said its military cooperation with Damascus was limited to training, tactical assistance, and exchange of enterprise. Turkish officials accused Netanyahu government of using the claim to justify unlawful military action and destabilize Syria.
Right. And basically, that would come off as like a warning. All right. They say they accuse him of what?
Uh, Netanyahu government are using to claim to unjustful, unlawful military action and destabilize Syria.
Right. And that's going to be the next objective for Israel. All right. The Israelis, because I don't like calling them Israel. Right. So what? Destabilize the land masses over there. All right. That's above them. Right. They had the war on the south front. Now they're going above them, man. You see? And I don't know. It's clear as day that they're trying to start World War III, man. They keep pulling the U.S. into these different things, these different wars, in order to start World War III. You see? And this has to happen before the Charagma is ultimately introduced and made mandatory, man. You know? But that was it in that?
Yeah.
Con. Go ahead.
Con, this Jeremiah 49 and 20.
Yep.
Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make the habitations desolate with them.
You got it. Just
Con, yeah, the least of the flock going into Amalek. All right, they're gonna be the catalyst to World War III. They're gonna be the ones, all right, to ultimately cause that for it to, this it gotta happen now. All right, it's gonna come through them.
Yeah, we seen it happen with the war that started with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, oh, this happened first. Trump hit him with the bunker busters and said, oh, we have totally obliterated them.
Yeah.
They're totally obliterated, you know? But then you come back some months later and just start a whole goddamn war with them. You see? That's the least of the flock drawing them out. Why do you think Benjamin Netanyahu, a Jew, is coming here taking these trips to America, right? When you look at all your so-called politicians, all your so-called senators, right? They're all backed by what? That blue and white flag money, man. You know, them J double O's. They're the ones making investments into them so they can do what? Push more policies to support them. You see? Here it is. You have mass majority of American people outraged at this war, but they're going to do what? Keep funding it. Keep voting. They had a vote a couple weeks ago, and it was like 3 votes away from a no. But the dude did a breakdown on it on why it got passed. It was because it was like 3 Democratic people who supposed to vote no, and they actually voted yes. And he looked back at the history and seen who they were supported by.
Right.
You see, to keep the war in Iran going on, man. You know, but all of these things are going to lead to these other nations hating the whore. You see, and the Most High got these devils in a trick bag, you know, setting them up to fall. All right, that was it for that, bro.
Yeah, that was it.
You bring out that Revelation 17.
The first one started.
Start at. You can read 3, and then jump to 15.
All right. This is our Revelation chapter 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness.
It's like it. Read. Damn. Just read 1 to 3, and then jump to 15.
This is our Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels
Give me
which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Right. It says, and there came seven angels with 7 vials and talking to me, saying, I will shew unto the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. All right, and that whore is America. All right, and the waters are what? People, multitudes, nations, and tongues. You see? Keep going.
With whom the kings of the earth had committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right. Now, give me that Jeremiah 17 right fast.
Shit.
51 and 7. I'm tripping.
Con, this is
real quick. Because when you go into that fornication, it goes into what? Their democracies, their philosophies, their American ways that they've pushed on these other people. You see? Oh, why don't you set you up a democratic system? You know, it might have been something that was it could have been a totalitarian state. It could have been a dictatorship. But they come in what? Establish, put their own puppets in there and establish that democracy, man. You know? That's what they do. And that's how these nations are committing fornication with her, adopting the ways of America. See, go ahead, bro.
And this is Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Demon, bro.
The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right, and that wine represents the same thing, right? The fornication, that's a demon, bro. I can't even fucking think of that shit. You got Freddie Gibbs playing in one ear, and then you got Drake playing in the other ear on the fucking 1,000 apps, man. You know, I can't even think. Read it again, bro.
This Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made.
It's on voice ISO. Check the sound.
That's the turkey.
I won't hear.
Okay.
It's good.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we good.
Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
right, because they first drunk the wine. It was when they first poured it in my, it was sweet. My bad. I didn't know that this one. Yeah, my bad. You know, when they first drunk of that wine, it was sweet. It tasted good, but as they started to ingest it and it sat in their mouth for a second, they figure, oh, This not what was actually desired, man.
That acid.
You know, that aftertaste is terrible.
Yep.
You know, once they drunk it, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they look around and say, wait, hold on. Because our people don't turn the mold. That's not what we want. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
He said, well, you know, and they starting to do have that Western philosophy, that Western culture, that Western mindset, where the women could be whores, right? The people and the men could go out and do it right there, boy. So hey, look, man. You know, when Babylon the Great, aka America, goes over to the other nations, what do? Like I just said, they turn into moles, right? The people basically adopt Western culture, philosophies, right? That whole mindset, right? And what it does, it throws the nation off, man. Like the brother said, the people come in and infiltrate, right? And before you know it, everybody's dual citizens, right? And the people are catching on to what they're doing, right? That's why the scriptures say the nations are mad, right? Off of the wine, man. Okay.
Uh, jump, jump to back to 17. Yeah, finish that out, right?
Yeah, finish that
Con.
verse. Yeah.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right. When it's still 7 heads and 10 horns represents who? NATO and the EU, right? But it says it had a why would it specifically be a scarlet color? All right, because that red represents who? Being that whore being the nation of Edom, all right, that's gonna rule on top of these other nations, man. All right, that's attached to the beast, 7 heads, 10 horns. That's NATO and the EU. All right, they're so-called allies. All right, now we're gonna jump to jump what I told you
15.
15. We're gonna jump to 15 to show you what's gonna happen. All right, as Babylon or as the whore is dealing with these other nations, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And he said to me, the waters which thou sawest, which where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
Right. Pay attention. The 10 horns, all right, them same 10 horns that we just read in the 3rd chapter. Let's see what their reaction is, or let's see what they're going to do. All right, to the whore. Go ahead.
These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yeah, it says so. These same nations that were in the give me that one where it said the nations were at league with thee. Give me Jeremiah. You got your horns on it?
Help from 2015.
Okay. Give me Jeremiah 50, and it's like 12. All right, because it said they shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Going into what? These nations that have the nuclear capability, press the button, all right, shoot the button on this whore, right? Give me the one where it says she gonna get hit with 200,000, man. All right. The Lord is gonna empty the arsenal on Babylon the Great through these other nations that have taken up parts and have taken up league with them, man.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
Okay, Khan. This is Revelation 9 and verse 16, and it says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them.
So that 200, and you add 1,000, which is 3 zeros, and another 1,000, another 3 zeros. So that's 200 million nuclear missiles, man. All right. In which the missiles get shot. Missiles actually, you know, when you go into the science of it, some missiles have 8 warheads, right? Some of them have 7, some of them have 6, you know.
20.
Some of them got 15 warheads in them. So when the missile actually goes up, when it gets to a certain degree, and when it starts to come down, the missile breaks apart, right? And then the warheads start to leave out one by one by one. All right. So that 200 million is talking about the missiles, right? But ultimately it goes into the warheads that's in the missiles, man. You see? And we can see the nations definitely have the nuclear capability to do this. You know, when you go into the Vanguard, it's traveling 27 times the speed of light, man. All right. With Satan too. Russia with all the hypersonics, man. All right. And they're dealing with Iran to get that technology, man. You see? So these nations Even the ones that are not in league with Babylon, even the ones that don't have an alliance with them, they're gonna just press the button anyway. Why? Because they're already at enmity, man. You know, they're already not at agreement. You see? But give me that Habakkuk 2 real quick before I go too fast. You got that one with the nations at league with D?
I had a little reference to what you had just said.
Go ahead, go ahead.
This is just real quick. China, basically came on YouTube and told the world, man, that China's the only nation with a completely functional and super high tech hydrogen bomb, man, which is capable of carrying, I believe, 59 nuclear warheads and one hydrogen bomb in the inside, man. Right? So, like the brother is saying, look, these nations are ready to get it on, man. They're not afraid of America. They're no longer afraid of the beast. Okay? Like the guy said in the video, he said, China will not fire the first shot, but they also will not allow you to fire the second shot. Okay? So they're not playing, man. It's serious business.
All right. Yeah, that's a good point, bro. You know, go ahead, dude.
I
don't. Give me that Habakkuk.
Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also.
Right, and that's what America have done with these other nations. They've given their neighbors in the name of a friendship, right? Just like they did with the so-called Native Americans. In the name of a friendship, let's make peace with these. Let's give them this bottle to drink, all right? Which goes into what? Their democracy, right? Their philosophies, the things that they believe in. Let's get these other nations to join in and do the same. You see? Go ahead.
That thou was made to look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Yeah, you know.
Drink thou also.
No, that's it. That's good. That's good. I just really wanted to point at 15, you know. But it says, woe unto him, though. All right. Meaning destruction unto you, man. And you've done this with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you've done it with the other nations, man. You know, and there's a judgment that's written for that. All right. Go ahead with that one, Kabba.
There's on Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. And all the men that thou confederacy had brought thee even to the border, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Wait, it said the men that were at peace with thee, though. If you at peace with somebody, that means that they were your ally, right? That means y'all were cool. Y'all were on one accord.
Yeah, confederacy, man.
That was the confederacy.
Yep, going to Amen allies.
Go
Go
ahead.
And it says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, man. So these nations that are at league with Babylon, and with the article this brother read out, you still got the other one, with Trump and NATO.
Yeah, so
In which, you know, we at the end, man. All right, we seeing the fall of this goddamn kingdom, man. You know, but you have one, right? Go ahead.
I don't think y'all brought it out. It's Joel 3.
No, we ain't bringing nothing to Joel. Like
Joel 3 and I'll start at 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
you can break it down, bro.
Yeah, just going into that point, the other nations. At one point in time, in history, nobody would dare have this type of boldness against America, man. Nobody wouldn't dare stand in their ground. But now the other nations gaining the same capabilities that America is gaining, right? They're holding nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons, just like America is. So they're ready to fight fire with fire. And they already been tired of this devil. Now we got weapons to combat you, to get on your level. They're going to use them. You got it.
Yeah, that's why I said, let the weak say I'm strong.
Yep.
These nations, even 20 years ago, wouldn't even thought about talking shit back. If you wanted to make a peace deal with America, it was all else. Now they in the mindset of, man, do it. Do what you're going to do.
Yep.
We ready for you. You see? Now these nations are proclaiming themselves to be strong, man. Right? But bring that out real fast, you know?
This Jeremiah 50 and verse 12. The mother shall be sore confounded. She that bear you shall be ashamed.
So who is the mother of America? All right? Because this whore, it comes out of Britain. All right? And that's what it's talking about. Your mother shall be confounded of you. right? Because America was birthed out of who? The nation of Britain. When it talks about the one that is and is not yet, all right, in Revelation, I think that's 17, you know? But keep going, bro.
Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert,
Yep.
because the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
Right. All these nations are going to be astonished at the judgment of this whore, all right? Because it will be seen, right? This place is going to be utterly desolate, man. But that doesn't mean all these other places that shoot the missiles, right, are going to be utterly desolate. You're going to have some places get hit, you know, which we can go into the Operation Mads, you know, the mutually assured destruction. This whore going to get her rocks off too, man. You know, once the trigger warning come of them getting hit by something, well, they going to push the button themselves. You know, you're going to have certain places get hit with nukes, but they won't be utterly destroyed, man. You know, but the land of Israel has to be cleansed totally, man. You know, we just not going straight back to Jerusalem after salvation, man. You know, which is why there's going to be another a period of time of being in the wilderness, man. You know, but keep going, bro.
Put yourself in array against Babylon around about.
Mm-hmm.
All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord.
Yeah, it says spare no arrows, and which those arrows represent what? The modern day nuclear missiles, man. You know, because when Jeremiah seen a vision, the only thing that you would see fly through the sky would either be a chariot, all right, or arrows. And if he saw somebody sparing not no arrows, that means he saw them shooting off their nuclear missiles, man. You know, keep going.
Shout against her around about. She had given her hand. Her foundations are fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Her walls are thrown down.
Mm-hmm.
For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she had done. Do unto her.
Yeah, man. So these nations are going to do unto Babylon what Babylon has done to the whole entire planet Earth. You know, rape, rob, murder, pillage. They're going to get their get back in one go by just pressing a button, man. You know, all because she sinned against the Lord. She did the Lord's people wrong. She did the people of the earth wrong. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say in Ezekiel 35, when they talk about how thou has not hated blood,
Mm-hmm.
it shall pursue thee. All right, that
You get it.
yeah,
Get
con. That's just not, well, I'll read it first, then I'll speak on it.
Let me get that article. See what they
This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, well, I started too high. 35. I'm in 36. Okay.
35.
Con, 35 and 5. I was in 36. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Well, we know that the Edomites, Esau, Edom, I have shed the blood of Israel, but they also shed the blood of the other nations too.
Yeah.
Right? So they want that back.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna get even other nations gonna get a piece of Esau, Edom.
Yeah.
Right? So that blood is gonna pursue them. All they did was shed blood. So that's what's coming back to them. They reap nothing but bloodshed. They're gonna sow bloodshed.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's why I said, but these devils have a blood lust. You know,
Yeah.
even when they do their ritualistic, sacrifices and shit. You know, when you go into Hollywood and all of these celebrities and entertainers that so-called sacrifice somebody, well, that's because them devils love blood, man. They require blood. So that same love for blood is gonna pursue you, man. You know, you're gonna kick your ass in the kingdom. But go ahead, bro.
All right, Khan. This is an article from off the Japanese Times. It says NATO's Eastern allies plan to cut United States base cost to palisade Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It says NATO's Eastern European members are offering to cut costs for United States station on their soil to discourage the Trump administration from reducing its military footprint there, according to
people familiar with the matter. Give me that one where it said "Rule to Deal Land" by Kings and Child. The number of United States troops in Europe fluctuates between 80,000 and 100,000, depending on rotations and exercises, with over a third based in Germany. Eastern Europe hosts fewer troops, ranging from a few hundred in the Baltics to several thousand in Poland. The countries on NATO's eastern flank will reflect their strong wish to host as many United States troops as possible, explaining why they would offer to foot more of the Slovakia. It says why they offer to foot more of the bill, the people said.
And that's what Trump wanted from the beginning. He wanted NATO to foot more of the bill. We the military, we the strength, and his whole MO was, what the hell are y'all doing? And I mean, he low key right though. What the hell are they doing? Nothing. We just spending all this money, all our military might on y'all, and y'all not doing a goddamn thing, you know? But like I said, the Lord have it playing out like this because this is a part of his prophecies, man. You know, this is his movie. All right, go ahead.
NATO's largest European members are in talks to coordinate a response that avoids triggering the United States president's ire.
Wait, say that again.
The NATO's largest European members are in talks to coordinate a response that avoids triggering the United States president's ire, which has erupted since they refused to participate in the United States Israeli war on Iran.
You see the originator of it. Surely shall the least of the flock draw them out, right? It originated from what? The Iran-Israeli-U.S. war, right? So now they in talks to do what? Read it.
Many of those allies largely see the questionnaire, which they attribute to Kobe, as an attempt to strong arm them into ideological alignment in exchange for United States protection.
Yeah. So basically, when you strong on somebody, that's basically trying to force them. You know, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like you were saying, they basically hold them to the fire. They say, hey, look, you know our MO. You know what I'm saying? Is either get down or lay down. We've been backing y'all for X amount of time, right? We've been so-called feeding y'all with what they call it, commerce, whatever, trades and all the rest of that kind of stuff. Y'all been good. Now we at war and y'all don't want to do what we say do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, you know what the end result's gonna be. Ultimately.
Yeah. And it should show you that these nations ain't really with you, man. They use you and abuse you like you've done with us. You see how that work? Then the Lord cold, man. So now they're gonna leave you out foot in the cold to fight a war all alone. Because when it was not even that long ago, a couple months ago, when the U.S. kept fighting with the war in Iran, Israel just totally what? They just backed off. They just we ain't sending no more troops in there. We ain't doing no more attacks in there. You see, left you out to dry, man. And that's what these other nations are gonna do. Let's finish out that Revelation 17.
So Revelation chapter 17, verse 17. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Right. So there was an agreement to give their kingdom into the beast until that time be fulfilled. The time for what? For them to turn on this whore, hate the whore, and make her desolate, man. You see? And he put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, man. All right. That's why I tell you in Sirach 18 that all things obey his will. Let's show you, like, when you had them little what they call them, the little string puppets, that's all the Most High doing. He doing it with us, and he damn sure doing it with these other nations, man. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1.
Yep.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of the water, he turneth is whethersoever he will.
Yep. You can speak on it.
God, just back you up, bro. Like, it's based on that precept, the everything that's going on, man, around these kings, man, these nations. It's all in the hands of the Lord, man. It's all the plans of the Lord, man. As we can see right now, man, the plans, it's working. You got it.
Yeah. The plan is working for the
Lord,
better.
Yeah, for the
Man. But you had something? Oh, you had something, right? Somebody had something. Oh, what you got?
Ecclesiastes
Oh, yeah, yeah.
10.
Go ahead, bring it out, brother.
This Ecclesiastes 10 and 16.
Speak up a little.
Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning.
Yeah, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. So destruction unto you, man, because your king is a child. One minute he all right, the next minute he talking about, hey man, we about to bomb the shit out of these niggas. You know? Then the next day, not even the next day, 2 hours later, he talking about, oh, we got him making a peace deal. That's childish, man. You know, just straight up lying. You see, but now you've put yourself so far out there, started a war. You can't retreat. You can't back out now. To where so much Iran say, oh, now we on the offensive, man. You see, get that in Ezekiel 38, man. You know, nah, we on the offensive. Nah. When this expires, you gonna come to our terms, man. You know, and that's the beauty of it. That's all a part of seeing this horse too stretched in. You know, they've ran through so many missiles and money funding this war. They like, oh, we don't know what the hell we gonna do. You know, to show you America is not as big and bad as people thought. Which is another reason why you got these nations saying, hey man, we could take this whole out, man. You know? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 38.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ezekiel 38, start at the top, verse 1. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Right. So when it says I am against you, we check that two ball, that's speaking of Russia, man. Right? And that's showing you the Lord is not ready with you, but he about to use you to take your own people out, man. You know, as a spearhead. Because when you go into the whole nuclear program, who's one and two? Especially Russia, America. Now you got China in there with them. Now you got China in there that's kind of running the close third, right? Close second, third. But it's always been between who? Who is the Cold War about? The ancient Soviet Union and America, man. You see? And that's what he said. Well, I'm gonna turn them hook backs and I'm gonna turn our hooks back and our jaws. You put those hooks in the horse mouth, you can do what? Control them, man. You know, turn them whatever you need. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's brought up in Proverbs 21 and really 17, hey, all right, everything's in the hands of the Lord. You see, using you basically, man, you can put that fighting spirit on Russia, man. Go and get this whole. You got it.
And it says, and I will turn thee back, right? And when he say he gonna turn you back, that's him putting Russia back in that ancient cold ass Soviet Union mindset, man. Fuck that. We going to war with America, right? Which is why you have them. They've been funding them on the low, keeping Iran afloat, showing them how to do this. Bro, Iran handling their own business and they fighting two different countries, man. You know, you got soldiers that's on these ships, screaming and crying to get off the ships, man. You know, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, man. You know, this war is weak. This nation is weak, man. You know, through the men of the Lord, the prophets, you've been brought to your goddamn knees, man. You know, but people don't really understand that. They don't even really see it. They just worry about partying and bullshit because you've been fed so much bread and circus here, man. You know, you don't even see that this kingdom is getting ready to fall on this goddamn face, man. You know, but I told me how to get. All right, my bad. It was the Ezekiel 38. My bad. Finish it up.
Yeah, Ezekiel 38, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them.
One of them is here. Okay.
All of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his band. The house of Togomar, Gomer, Togomar,
The house of
of the North Horse and all his bands, and many people would be thou prepared, prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Right. So you have Russia being a guard to these nations, man. Persia, right, which is a modern day Iranians, right? Ethiopia, Libya, which is Libya, right? But them, all of them still the hell making Omar and all his bands. So that's talking about Turkey, man. All right. So now here they go fucking with Turkey. Well, it's prophecy that Turkey is going to be what? Guarded by Russia, man.
Yep.
You see, you already had your boy over there in Turkey that fled to Russia for asylum. What's his name? Shit. Let me see. I forget that, you know. But you already had him over there. He was the ruler over Turkey, and they overthrew the government, and he fled to Russia, man. And that's a prime example of them being a guard to him. You see, but Russia's been being a guard to Iran the whole time. Where do you think they're getting this nuclear speculation from? Oh, I believe they have the weapons, and they just ain't using it yet, you know. But that was it, right? Go ahead with your.
It's Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Basically going to about, hey, man, so Babylon, that's America, man. Ain't never been touched, man. No, that's why this place called virgin daughter of Babylon. They ain't never been touched, man. Ain't never been attacked, man. Ain't never been conquered, you know? But, hey, man,
Hey,
we got,
my bad. Go ahead.
yeah, you got it.
Yeah, because when you watch the movie Red Dawn, right? What's the other? It was getting busy. It was getting busy. Oh man, oh, the chick.
Oh, I know you talking about.
Oh, bro, it's on the Bushwick. Yeah, man. You look at the movie Red Dawn. You look at the movie Bushwick. All right, and you look at all of the. It was literally an invasion from the sky. You had all these Chinese, these foreign troopers just dropping in on America's soil. Right? Show you that this war is no longer going to be called tender and delicate, man. Right? Outside of the Revolutionary Wars, which was very minute, you never had the entire landmass here in America be totally at war, man. We talking about missiles, we talking about rockets, grenades, Humvees, tanks, right? We're not talking about just a gunfight. No, we're talking about trenches being dug, man. You know, real war, penetrated, man. You know, go ahead. Yeah, more. Since when I did 47, to,
Therefore, it shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know hence it rises.
right, because as it says in Psalms, thy thoughts was that thy house shall continue forever, man. You know, they just thought, hey, we gonna keep going, we gonna establish this thing. We're gonna get the NW0 done, you know? But no, it said, therefore shall evil come upon thee. All right? Thou shalt not know from whence it rises, man. Because it's gonna happen so quick, so fast. You already got all these sleeper cells in America, man. You know? All of these foreign troops here already. Just waiting on a call to go. Like the brother put the lesson, the video in the WhatsApp. You know? People that's been here living in the same cities, the same houses among you for the past 10, 15 years. You know? And they gonna get the call one day, such and such and such and such. And this shit just gonna start happening, man. All right? You had your girl, Sarah Adams, say that, like last year. She's a whole target for the CIA, man. I'm telling you that these attacks, these T attacks are gonna happen simultaneously. You see? But this is all a part of the whole not being called tender and delicate no more, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
And mischief shall fall upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off.
Mhm.
And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly,
Yeah.
which thou shalt not know.
Yeah. Desolation is gonna come upon you suddenly. You're gonna be looking at the so-called average American. It's just gonna be standing there and feel like, what the hell happened? She said it's gonna be so bad to where an attack gonna happen across the town over there. Then something gonna happen over there, and then when all the ambulances get on the attack, some shit gonna go off again. You know?
They should be in a movie, I think, called Seven Kingdoms, I think, or whatever. Basically, long story short, they said they basically had like a big tea attack or whatever, and then they sent in all these different high-end delegates and you know, medical people and all this kind of stuff, all the researchers and all this kind of stuff. And they waited till they all was there, and then they hit it again, and an even bigger attack, you know, and wiped out all of them, you know, and that was at the beginning of the movie. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah 51 and verse 14. It says, the Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. Yeah, man. So the Lord, that's what he's planted. All those people that are basically come across the board, right? We saw the guy that said, you don't know who I am, but you soon will know who I am, basically, like, roughly paraphrasing. There's hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands all over the place, man.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands all over the place. And that's what they do, right? You got certain sections. One attack infrastructure, like the attack bridges, so-called government facilities, and the other will attack civilians. They don't stay around either, man. Once they hit the execute X amount of time, whatever it is, they leave and go do something else, man. So, and what do caterpillars do, man? They eat up the vegetation, right? So those men that's been planted here by Yahweh Shimon Shai, they're going to take out what? The men that's of Babylon the Great.
Yeah.
You know, it's very simple.
Yeah, that's why when they tell, hey man, I'm straight up, all hell is getting ready to break loose here in America, man. All right? As a part of their doings across the globe, all hell is getting ready to break loose here. You see? Go ahead.
Yeah, they already showed us people that, hey man, the blackouts, man.
Mhm.
In the end,
Yeah.
they also been up there in Arizona too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Or also, like, I mean, they have a lot of blackouts on the West Bank.
I don't know
Lately, one of my friends called me within the last 2 or 3 months. He's like, man, they just been having blackouts. Every time anything happens, a drizzle comes down, and we just blackouts, right? Yesterday, last night, they had blackouts. And so it's going from 8:30 to 6:30, or another 8:30, man. You know, these people are about to feel it, man.
You thought go watch them Katrina documentaries, man. You know? You thought it was bad back then. Hey, that's gonna look like a walk in the park for the times that we coming into. That's for the times that's here. Because we in so-called hurricane season, but you know, as the forecaster said, it hasn't been much activity yet. But just give it about another week or so, you know, and we're gonna get into the high parts of it, you know, and we'll see what the Lord do, right? And then they gonna really have some blackouts down here, you know, and across the states. They've been having the article wrong now with the 18, what is it, a blackout for 18 months, you know? What people gonna do for 18 months with no
what about
18 hours? 18 hours. Shit. People get ready to lose their goddamn mind, man. You know? That's why I said rejoice and be glad, because it's the same time that we're in for us. But as for the others, you know, oh well. You know? But that brother's got
Amos chapter 5, verse 18? Won't you that desire to them the Lord?
So what? Oh, I gotta hear.
What? Yeah, what it is for you?
Yeah, so what is that? What end is it for you? Where do you see yourself standing? What you desire in the day of the Lord? You know? What end is it gonna be for you? It's gonna be death and destruction, man. You know? And it's about to tell you how the type of mind that you're
It says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yep.
That won't ain't about the blackout. It's the aftermath of the blackout, man. Hey man, once that's why I say man, once we darkness, man. Once we man chaos, evil, whole lot of man, mass deaths, people man, hey, the local me shall west cold, man. Hey man, hey man, get down, we down, man. Hey man, bread, no food, no some type of what can I say? Yeah, bread, food, ain't they man, basic man, they survival mode, yeah.
Straight up survival. Give me that second after 15. If you know whatever you got, bring it up. We want to finish.
Nah, that was it.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's make it fun.
I was about to say that darkness, I the dead of darkness in that day, when the blackouts come, it's gonna bring darkness, and that darkness gonna bring more dogs.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. Within the people, that's what got it.
It says, 19, as if a man did flee from a lion at a bare meadow, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him.
So there ain't gonna be no rest for you, man. Imagine literally fleeing from a lion, and then you get in the house, and they got a bear. Running through the house, trying to get away from the bear, you go to the bathroom, close the door, trying to catch a break, and there's a big ass goddamn anaconda in there or something, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, even the black house that's going on, they said,
Yeah,
they lose them.
we gonna get it. The man's course, our course of his actions gonna stand. We gonna get it, man. Y'all brothers finish y'all precept that time.
I'm reading that verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? That's plain, man.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be no light in that day. It ain't gonna be not literal light, but the light represents what? The understanding, the wisdom. The light represents the prophets. It ain't gonna be no prophets in that day telling you what's going on. This is gonna be straight up darkness, gruesomeness, blood, guts, and ass. We ain't that in a minute.
I know it's
Hey man, what's happening in Gary, Indiana? It's coming to a city near you, and soon everywhere. Why do you think another good point? Why do you think they have Green Beret have Black Hawks in the middle of a city in California running drills, man? Why? 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 Because something is getting ready to happen here, man. But go ahead. Go ahead, right?
Yeah. It's Job 14 and 5.
That's
Job 14 and 5 says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. God has found that he cannot pass. Right? And this whole time, the brother's been going into all of the death and destruction, right? And the unfortunate that's coming to Babylon the Great, America. All these things from the what is called, we was talking about no, nations, but the caterpillar, yeah, no, what they call it. No, the sleeper cells. From the sleeper cells to the other nations, I gaining nuclear capability. All these things are a part of America's destruction. So the whole time you quoted in the Psalms, he thought his house would continue forever, right? But the scripture says he thought that, and then Job says he has a time that he cannot pass. His days are determined. So all of these things are just going into how America is about to fall, and there's nothing he can do. He thinks he's going to rule forever, but the Lord got him in the truth back.
this devil got a goddamn expiration date. A date that he just can't. It's like the Lord. It's a cutoff point, right? And the Lord is just totally, bro. You see all the signs. The second half of the ninth chapter. It say measure the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, Get it, bro, because the last part just escaped real quick.
It's a nigga, no?
Mm-hmm.
They say, man, I know the Lord, he visiting earth, man.
The Lord getting ready to come back. And I was trying to get the clouds, man.
About it. Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before,
Right.
then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Oh.
Keep going. I mean, that was the point.
I see it's part of those signs past, which we've been seeing part of the signs past. Yahweh told us the signs in Matthew 24 chapter. And all of those things are here. But see what the end is not yet, right? Other prophecies have to take place and unfold. You see, the beginning of sorrows, man. This shit just started. Brothers been buckling up and getting ready. Girding up the loins of their minds, man. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people,
All these things not happening. Earthquakes in diverse places. Uproars of the people.
And earthquake,
know that. Yeah, man. We ain't never had no goddamn earthquake down here. You know? We subject to flooding, bad storms, and hurricanes, man. And hot weather. When the hell we started getting hurt? And it's not the first earthquake down here in Louisiana. Mississippi, that's abnormal. But that's the birth pains of the earth, man. From it being defiled and transgressed by the unrightful rulers over it. You know? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got that word uproar for you.
okay, good.
This is the word uproar. It says a noisy and angry disturbance, commotion, or public outcry where many people protest, shout, or complain about something.
It's going on everywhere. Social media, you get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, even on the news. They got people protesting, they got people complaining, crying. And brothers is doing videos on these day and night. Every day, you see a brother doing a video on how people are complaining about the living conditions, gas, food, rent, all these things. It's a continual uproar. Race war.
You know, especially, man, this recent commotion going on with Northern Wells.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's fucking up.
And in the background, they got all these things.
I was about to say that.
Yep. So you know, it's all coming into play. It's all coming into play. It's gonna escalate to it's gonna get to a point to where the law, like, is it?
Y'all go with that shit. But everything is on the table. There's nothing the Lord don't have on the table right now. Everything can go several different ways and prophecy just fall in line like that. That one domino fall is it. Bro, we at the end, bro. You know? We don't got much time left. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. All right? Go ahead. All right. Go ahead.
Shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world at the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
The end is manifest, man. The end is written. It's written in the scriptures. It's being played out right now before our eyes, man. If you sincere and you truly believe that, hey, man, you better make no telling. You know? Serve the Lord. Because, hey, you put off from day to day, you're going to get destroyed. The same way. You know? That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Go ahead, bro.
Exodus 10 and 21.
Oh, bro, that was saying, I want to back him.
The Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that they may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Right, we understand that this is the modern day Egypt, right? As the scripture said in Revelation 11 and 8, spiritual Egypt. You see? Because Egypt is represented what? A house of bondage, man. And this is the chief house of bondage. Whether you're in corporate slavery, all right, chattel slavery, it don't matter. Everybody here is in bonds, man. You know, go ahead.
Verse 22. Moses stretched forth his hands toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. The children of Israel had light in their dwelling. I brought this up back on the point. All these blackouts are going to lead to a thick darkness that no one is going to be able to run from. Watch some TikTok videos, you'll see the people driving at night, and they're not called it light. And it's a darkness that encompasses everything, almost even them if they phone.
It's just the mind frame of America. It's brilliant. Like I said, Ecclesiastes 12:3. Windows are dark. You look out the window and it's dark. That means there's no future. There's nothing to see. There's nothing left to see here. The Lord is getting rid of it. He's closing. The curtains are literally closing. It's not like the people standing out holding the thing. The people actually walking and closing the goddamn curtains, man. Here in America, you know. But go ahead, bro. This is the second Ezra 15, verse 10, 11, and 12. It says, "Behold, my people is led." So read down all the way to about 21 right there, my brother. "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." Like the brother was reading in Exodus, right? God calls that big darkness. But in the children of Israel, they had the light, man, right? The elect have the spiritual light, and they will be protected too at the same time. Verse 11, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Right, so this is speaking on Babylon the Great, aka America, man, which is basically spiritual Sodom and Egypt, according to the scriptures. Okay, verse 12, it says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it." It says, "They that till the ground, shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation." Right, which is going into what? All hell breaking loose, man. It says they that see the ground, they that till the ground shall mourn, for the seed shall fail. Meaning it ain't gonna be no what they got a fertilizer crisis going on right now. You know, you can't. The fertilizer prices have doubled since the beginning of the year. You know, it's gonna be a rough crop season, man. You see, they that's tilling the ground this morning. The people who's actually going to work are morning, pissed off. I know I am. You know, I'm going to work just to pay the bills. I ain't getting. Right. We ain't getting nowhere, brother. Yeah. We want this thing to be over with. You see? Right. Right. The scriptures speak on, well, first of all, Esau completed the soul by 70%. Yeah. So even when you do try to plant something, it doesn't grow in the way it should grow, right, into its fullness. Okay, that's why the soil has risen, because they know that people need the soil in order to plant things, in order to grow things. You know, it's very simple. It's not hard. They didn't need a whole war on growing up. I seen something that put in the woods that I think we can also rumble on it too. They're intentionally making things seedless, right? Because if you don't have seeds, now you can't grow your own food. Right? And if you can't grow your own food, you have to abide by the rules and the regulations that we give you if you want to eat. That's ultimately what it leads up to. Right? But this is a whole war. It's a war on our lives. Right? Ultimately, they want us. Right? That's why the Lord had the land Sabbath, from Jump Street, so you could give the land rest. This devil is giving the land no rest. He's completely. Hmm? Keep speaking. So it's just like skipping, just. What? He's going to all the cornfields, planting the crops. Okay, he's constantly growing things and not giving it what it needs in the first place. Okay, you know, and he also comes up with what GMOs, man. And everything that's created by GMOs completely, you can't even use the song like a GMO. So supposedly, go back. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. All right, we should be straight. Good. Go ahead, finish. If you could pick up your point back.
So like I was saying, man, this devil makes you do what, man? He plants basically GMO, which completely destroys the soil, right? By up to 70%. You can't plant anything, you can't grow anything, all right. And then he makes you go to his establishments and buy fake food.
Yeah.
Like, we in hell, man. That shit ridiculous, bro. You're gonna take the seeds out of natural vegetables, fruits, even the meat. This nigga wanna fuck with the meat, you know? You all right? I don't know what the fuck that is. Some spider or something. But that's this devil having that God like he wants to be as if he's the most high dude. He wants to control the food, he wants to control what you eat, and then he's ultimately gonna get to the point to where he just want to control you. You think what he did with the crops, he don't want to do with the people? Yeah. He want to genetically modify you, man. Which is what he did in go ahead and getting everybody to get the JAB, you know? Right. And even before that, what is he doing now? Setting up flock. Yeah. Right. These idiots are going around, they're going around using flock for their convenience. That's You don't get unrestricted access, man. That's why you're going to jail. That's created for the elites. Yeah. So when everything's set in place, they can say, well, I know who got the jab, or I know who got the mark. You know what I'm saying? That's why when that time comes, what are we gonna need, man? Spiritual power, man. Right, to be hid away from the secret counsel of the wicked, man. This man's technologies and his devices, man, that he created. Yeah, I put something in there. I think that was last week. Where this devil got the actual technology. If you ever played the game Watch Dogs, or if you ever watched the show, it's called Personal Interest. Well, they had people who were masked up. You would wear like a mask over your face, and the cameras would pick up your eyes, and it'll give you your name, your height, your weight, your date of birth, your blood type, your bank information. This devil has all of that technology already, man. They've been having this whole big deal about the flock cameras and them. Oh, you got different people taking them down. Oh, they're taken down. Or have I been flocked? Well, on the other hand, which is backed by BlackRock and Vanguard, you've been having them set up something called Axon cameras, man. AXXON. Yeah. And we know who that's backed by. Starting with Larry Fink. And we know who's Larry Fink. A JOO. Yeah. Which I believe, me speaking as a man, he works for the elites personally, man. You know, with all of the shit that he's invested in from, that corporation, BlackRock and Vanguard, man. You know, that's that's backed by damn near everything. You know, everything from the food to the water to the electronics to the cars, everything. You know, but they throwing a distraction out there with the flock cameras. People don't even know about that though.
Oh, it's all about flock this, flock that. But on across the street, they've been setting up Axon cameras though. That's actually backed up by the elites to set up this digital system, man. You see? But let's keep reading in that I was reading. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction be unto you, man. You know, for the sword and your destruction is drawing nigh. We weeks, months away. All right. Go ahead. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What's the sword? Is the modern day what? The gun, man. Right? The Thule Beretta. You know, the Draco. That's what you niggas like. We don't like that shit, but you know, that shit ass, man. But you know, whatever floats your boat. But these Edomites got shit stored up, man. They got goddamn lockers. You know, they got the cases of bullets stacked up high. They ready. You see? Go ahead. Verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men. Sedition. Give me that word sedition. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. And they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Get it in the GMT, Kabah? Okay, you got that word? Go ahead with it.
Yeah, this that word sedition in online etymology. It says rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot.
So they got more?
Yeah, rebelliousness against authority.
Yeah, the water. So there's about to be a total rebellion against the authority that's in power, man. All right. It says a rising up against religious or civil disorder.
It's a concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority.
Yeah. So, like they had in that movie, Civil War, right? What kind of American are you? This the times that's getting ready to show forth, man. You already got division, all right, amongst, give me Mark 3 real quick. In like 23.
What you talking about?
When Satan divided against Satan, a house divided cannot stand, you know. But it says, you got it in the GNT?
Yeah,
read it.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. The GNT. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another.
Right, and we are seeing that now. It's the so-called white race here in America has never been so divided, man. You know? And so much where you got so-called whites, which are Edomites according to the scriptures, you know, could be J, could be not. Right? Not about to get into the dynamics of it, right? We're talking about the so-called white people. Who are the Edomites? They're divided against each other. Some of them have taken a side of where Jake is at. When you look at Jake, Jake stand next to Edomites. You know, we all live in the same shit. You know, they're not doing much better than us, even though they had a 400-year head start. You see, and that's why it's such political turmoil. You know, a lot of these Trumpsters trying to jump ship. They are jumping ship. Why? Because of political turmoil, man. What you think you voted for is not what you got. Right? Go ahead.
It said, and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government.
Right. And when you saw in that movie, Civil War, their whole objective was to do what? Get to the president and take him out, man. You see? That was it.
That was it.
Yeah, but when you read it in the KJV, it said they shall not regard their kings nor princes, man. So you have these people that trusted in these so-called senators, these politicians, these people that they voted for, they think that they put in office, right? They're actually going to seek their lives. You see? They're not gonna have no regard over that's the mayor over there. Somebody gonna put two in the back of their head like a bowling ball, man, and keep rolling. You know? It ain't gonna be no regard for those people in that time. You know? That's why I said a man's course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. People are gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. Why? Because it's gonna say, for the lack of bread, famine. That's another aspect of things that people don't understand, that These food stores only got 2 days worth of food stored up. After them 2 days, just get it how you live. You know, keep going.
Come. Verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right, because you're going to have these different checkpoints, right? These different setups because shit is going to be so bad out here. You think they call the National Guard down for nothing? You know, you're going to have Humvees, blockades, all to introduce what? Walmart. And if you don't know what that is, good luck, man. Go look it up. All right? Go ahead.
For because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
So you're going to see men be afraid. There's going to be so much bloodshed, so much guts on the ground, brain particles. You see? Men are going to be afraid. Give me that in Jeremiah 30 chapter, man. You know? Men hands going to be on their lawns, travailing, crying like a goddamn woman, man. You know? Because if you don't have the spirit of the Lord on you in that time, hey, man, no power to you. You know? Go ahead.
They had I was driving one day, I was on a twin span, man, and they had a real bad accident, you know, car parts and pieces all over the place, man. And Jake ended up getting ejected from the car, man, you know, and you know, basically just laying on a twin span, but his partner with the sound, the fear and the agony in his voice was just like that unto a woman, man. And it actually was gut wrenching. It was like, damn, like, you know, but he just lost his partner. But that's the judgment of the Lord, man. That's coming to Babylon the Great.
Yeah. That's going to look like a walk in the park, man. All right. Keep reading. Get down after 19, I think that should be it.
I think, yeah, 19 is right there. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, a man, you might have had your best friend next door, John. You know, y'all open the garages, the kids go out and play, you know? And then across the street, Tim would always come over and have some beers, you know? And y'all have a good time. But in those times, Tim gonna come across the street with the AR, man. Kicking the door. Where you at, John? I need your help, buddy. And you come down the stairs, hey, Tim, boom. Because of lack of bread. Because Tim ain't gonna have no food over there, man. Them children crying. They starving, they ain't ate in 4 days. People gonna do what they see fit to survive in that day, man. You know?
John got it.
Yeah. John got it. I know he showed me that cabinet downstairs, remember? Yeah. You know? For spoiler, for lack of bread and great tribulation. You know?
Everybody that movie, Homestead.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Homestead, man. But the main character, man, he had you know, he had what can I say? Damn, I'm trying to figure out the word said. Basically, man, he had shelter. You know what I'm saying? But one of the dudes, but he had a gate to block the people out. And one of the people that was beside those gates, man, he was like, hey, man, we hung out together. We're like, nah. Like, yeah, he said, nah.
Yeah.
Dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog, yeah.
We ain't no shit, nah. Ain't no hanging out. It's about me and mine and you and yours, man. But as for the elect, as for the brotherhood, oh, you best believe if we were a brother or something, and that brother, we gonna have each other back, man.
Right.
Because we tied in with Yahushua through the spirit, man. You know? But these people in the world ain't gonna be operating like that. You know? Go ahead.
It's Matthew 24, verse 12. And because the nigga shall bound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Yep. Get that word wax cold, man. You know? You want to speak on it and say something.
Oh, God. You know, as I'm getting, hey, man, says, as the nigga shall bound, man, which, hey, man, all these evil, you know what I'm saying, shall increase, man. It said, love of men shall wax cold.
We're on the phone, huh?
I know.
Which I'm going to get that word, what it means to wax cold.
80.
It was just overheating the phone. That's why I took it off of them. I was going to make sure it don't die that fast.
That's that word wax cold in the Greek, man. It said strong G5594, psycho. It said It's a metaphor of wanting love. What's that word? Wanting.
Wayne.
Yeah, waning. Yeah, Salaki. We're gonna reign. It said decrease, man. Disappear. All that love, that man, that the people of the world has shown, it's gonna be, hey man, it's gonna go away with, man.
Yeah, yeah.
When it comes, hey man, the lack of bread, man, lack of normalcy, man, in society. People lose it. They lose it. They lose it. You know?
Literally.
Matter of fact, even no Joker. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, even Joker made that movie. I think it was Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Knight, man. He say, hey man, their morals, their codes. No, it's a bad joke. That goes away, man. Like once they man, the first sign of trouble, all the chips down.
Yep.
That's why, man, the civilized people, so-called civilized people, come uncivilized, man.
Yeah.
You got it.
Man, they gonna want and desire what you got, man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just adding on to him, he basically said, you're gonna see the people for who they truly are, man.
Mhm.
He said, I'm just ahead of the curve. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Hey, man, we ahead of the curve through the spirit, man. And we gonna have integrity, morals, and righteousness that we gonna be in that day, man. But go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 19:2.
Speak over there.
It's Isaiah 19:2. Now accept the Egyptian against the Egyptian,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
city against city, kingdom against kingdom.
Yep.
And I brought that out just to back y'all brothers up, talking about the civil unrest. The brothers gonna fight against brothers, neighbors who've been neighbors for years, gonna be at each other's throat. Best friends are no longer gonna be friends but enemies. So all this fake stuff that they're saying, like the Joker said, it's about to end, man. You about to really see who you call the friend, who you call the brother, who you call the neighbor. As soon as the Lord let this shit go, but you got it out.
Yeah. And that, hey, man, the Lord, and that's what you see the Lord doing. We read in Jeremiah 51 earlier. Babylon had been a golden cup. Had is past tense. Had is past tense. The Lord done with this whore, man. He's done. He's finished with this kingdom. All it has to do is finish accomplishing these last few prophecies on destruction, and that's it, man.
Hey, Salaki, I don't mean to
Good.
go ahead.
Oh, you got it.
I was just about to say to back you up, bro, because this kingdom, this society, Esau Edom, he's reached the pinnacle of the power that he's gonna get.
Yeah.
Right? He's exercised, this the highest he's gonna go. This is all you can do from here now is just crumble. That's it. And that's what this nation is doing. That's what this kingdom is doing. It's crumbling right before our eyes, man. He ain't gonna get no stronger than this. You got it, bro.
Yeah. And we're really on a decline.
We're on a decline.
Really?
Yeah.
And that pinnacle, that shit expired with it hit its peak at about 2019, man.
Mhm.
But go ahead.
This Luke chapter 12, verse 51. Suppose
I got it.
this Luke chapter 12, verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? Question mark. I tell you, nay, but rather division. That's real, man. How sharp speak, man. So, hey, man, Lord, he's making all the division that's going on in the world, man.
Yeah. The Lord ain't, and that shows you that the Lord ain't coming back in that kumbaya. All right, that come together, unity spirit, man.
Yeah, we are the world.
We are the world. We are the
Children.
The Lord ain't coming back like that, man. Coming back with his arms folded, putting up a Baphomet sign. Come on, man. The Lord's coming.
Kingdoms.
He coming back to take a kingdom. If you come back to take something, that's not nicely. That's not friendly. But go ahead with that, bro.
This is Mark 3:24.
And this is the spirit that the Lord has put in America, man. And he said he's come not to send peace on earth, but a sword.
Yeah,
This
vision.
division, rather division. He's put that spirit of division in the earth first, man.
Judgment.
Go ahead.
Mark 3:24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Oh, Salaki, verse 26. It says, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
Yeah. So anywhere it go, when there's division, when something is one against another, all right, it's always gonna come to an end. There's no solution based here for America in these other nations. There's no solution. The Lord didn't mingle a solution amongst the nations to heal from this and continue to move forward, man.
Hell, but
We would have healed Babylon,
yeah, I got that.
but she is not healed. Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah 51 verse. I'm just using point verse 8.
As I said, 19.
It's Jeremiah 51 verse 8.
Jump
Babylon is
All right.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take ball for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth to heaven and lift it up even to the skies.
Yeah, man. Her judgment reaching unto the heavens, man. How damn wicked you gotta be for your judgment to get to the heavens. Go ahead, person.
This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 9 in the GNT. It says, foreigners living there said, we tried to help Babylonia, but it was too late. Let's leave now and go back home.
And you have, so like you have actual nations that are just packing up their shit and going home, man. You know, they come here to make the money, sell their goods, their merchandise. Matter of fact, hold that on deck, Revelation 18. You know, they trying to make their money. It ain't nothing to get out of here, man. You know, they just say, oh, fuck, we do better just going home. You can see all hell getting ready to break loose. Let's just pack up and go. You know, go ahead.
It says, God hath punished Babylonia with all his might and has destroyed it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man, to say that the creator of the universe is coming back specifically to destroy you, man. That's overkill, man.
Yeah.
And it's lightweight.
That's not a light thing to say.
Right. It's that's crazy.
Okay. This is Isaiah 19 and 14. Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. They had caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
Keep going.
Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
Keep going.
In that day, Egypt be like unto a woman,
Mhm.
and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it.
Right, and this is a spirit that the Lord have mingled, all right, in Egypt, man, causing these people to go off, causing them to err, right? You can be a man, that's a woman, that's a man. You see, that's a perverse spirit, man. You know, you cause it says every work thereof. You cause Egypt to err in every work. There's nothing here that's right. Everything here in America is wrong, man.
backwards.
It's backwards. You know? But that was it. So what is something? You want to say something?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said you had something.
No, I said that's it. I ain't had
You
nothing.
gonna finish out the precept, brother?
I said I ain't had nothing, bro.
Man, crazy.
I said I ain't
I
had.
had called for something in Revelation 18.
Oh yeah, you did.
Oh, that's what you had? I was in Revelation 18.
Yeah, that's why I
Oh,
called.
con.
That man just put his
My bad, bro.
and everything.
What you wanted me to do it? Revelation 18. What you wanted, verse 5? Reached unto heaven.
Yeah,
Con.
5 and jump to 9.
Revelation 18 and 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High had remembered her iniquities. Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
So in 1 hour, the Lord gonna destroy this bitch, man. Straight up. The nuclear missiles with all of the tension that's gonna arise here, all of the war, the bloodshed that's gonna happen here in America. All right. But the end all be all, the Lord gonna destroy this bitch in an hour, man. It ain't gonna take long, which is why you're gonna see the kings of the earth, the ones that's returned to their other countries. They gonna wail and lament for her, man, because she's gonna be totally destroyed, utterly burned, desolate, man. You know, and that's gonna be it. What they say in the cartoon and Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. You know. Brothers got anything else? Yeah, man. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, glory, infinite honors. Double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect, man. And Shalom,
Shalom.
Baba Ball,
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball,
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball,
Baba Ball.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.